Hello and welcome to another episode of Get to Know UIC, Get to Know United in Christ. Today I am overjoyed to be joined by Cheryl and Jack, who I think just won the award for the longest distance travel to be a part of our series. Cheryl and Jack, how are you guys doing today?
We're doing good.
Good. I am so very glad to see the two of you, and I'm really grateful that you're willing to take the time to sit down with me and to have the conversation today. So for folks who haven't gotten to know you or do but haven't seen you in a little while, remind us, how long has it been since you've been connected with United in Christ? When did you start coming to United in Christ?
We moved to Allenwood in 2006.
Okay.
So it was after that. I was the first year that Pastor Shade was there.
Okay, there you go.
But we belonged to a Lutheran church in South Williamsport, Messiah's
Oh,
Lutheran Church,
sure.
All our lives.
all our lives.
Wow.
And well, our kids were the fifth generation in my family to be confirmed in Messiah's Lutheran Church.
Wow, that's a lot of history.
Yeah.
So that wasn't a very easy decision when we decided to move
Yeah.
and join Mother Church. We didn't know nobody in Allenwood. We had
Sure.
knew nobody.
Wow.
And we met Mac and Mary Lou through dancing.
Nice. Very nice.
We decided we were going to move we were going to change churches.
Okay.
So we went to every Lutheran church in the whole radius.
Yeah, in the Greater Valley area, right?
Right, exactly. And the last one we went to was United in Christ.
No way.
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
And let me tell you something.
Please.
We found a home.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very, very cool.
Found a home.
Awesome.
Everyone's so friendly and welcoming.
Right.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I love that because that reinforces, and it's good to hear that that's part of the history, because this is one of the themes I get to hear and that I get to celebrate, is that when people do, they go around and they visit some places, and then it's like United in Christ has this effect that, like, once you land with us, it's like flypaper. They never let you go again, right?
Right,
You know you're
that is
stuck.
it.
You know you're where you
Absolutely.
need to be.
Absolutely.
That's very, very cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So what was it then? What was it about that first visit to United in Christ? What was it that made you know that this was the place for the two of you?
Oh, the way everybody was so friendly with us and welcomed us, and
Cool.
it was like we'd been there all our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's tough to find. I mean, as we said, we went to a lot of churches
Sure.
and didn't have that feeling that was instantly when we walked in that door.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very
Yes.
cool. I say this over and over, and if I've said it once, I've said it a million times, and I'll say it 10 more million times. It is the gift of this congregation, right? They have a gift
Yes.
for welcoming folks and making them feel included
Right.
and like they belong, and as if they were there the whole time anyways, right?
Right. That's true.
That's
True.
very
Yeah.
cool. So I'm doing my math in my head now. That was what, 14 years ago, right? 2006. It would have been, if that's when you first came.
I'm thinking maybe it was a couple years after
maybe a
that,
little
maybe
bit after that.
2008.
2008
The
or
first
so,
year
that
that-
makes sense.
First year that Pastor Shade was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was just
Yeah, 'cause
had
she-
been called.
She had just been called.
Yeah.
But either way, it's been over 10 years. It's been a little while,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
so what is it for the two of you then? What is it for the two of you that makes you want to keep coming back to this congregation, right? I mean, there's this feeling that you stuck when you first landed, but 10 years, that's a lot. That's a good run. What is it that makes you want to keep coming back year after year and week after week with this community?
Well, we've had good ministers, I will say that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
There's
let
room
me-
for improvement yet.
Let me explain one thing. When Pastor Shade left,
Yeah.
we were sitting there crying.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The whole congregation
Yeah.
cried.
She was a
Yeah,
real
100
gift.
some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll tell you, we've been blessed.
Yeah.
Well,
We've been very blessed.
And then to find you,
yeah. Well, thank you. Thank
that was a
you.
blessing too.
Yeah. Well, there's room for improvement yet, so we'll figure it. We'll find the right match eventually. No, but that's very good. But that's it, right? And I know that we heard from Pastor Shea just 2 weeks ago, I guess, at this point.
Yeah,
And-
I saw your interview with
yeah,
her.
to hear that mutual care between both. I mean, it's the joy of being able to live into these partnerships together.
You still keep
that's
in
very
touch
cool.
with her, don't you?
Yeah, I still keep in
Neat.
touch with Pastor Shade.
Very,
Yeah.
very neat. Very cool. So in that time, then, where is it that I mean, aside from the pastors, I guess, aside from them, aside from us, where is it? Where do you see God moving among this community? Where is it that you see?
It's all the good that the congregation does. I think they do a lot of good for a lot of people. It's just they're giving. They're very giving people. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's borderline dumbfounding, isn't it? Just how incredibly generous and willing to go out and share the gifts and the resources they have. It's a beautiful thing to see this community just unleash that for the sake of loving on their neighbors, right? That's very, very cool. Very cool. So what has it been for the two of you then? What has this community meant for you in your life together in this area over these past 10 years?
Well, we have a lot of friends now.
For sure. That's very cool. Well, I guess when you start as a dancing crew, that's nice to expand that friendship with. That's very, very cool. Neat, very neat. So then, as we look ahead to the future, as we look to where God may be calling this community in the years ahead, what are your hopes and dreams? What are your aspirations and desires and longings for this church? What do you hope to see God unleash through this community of faith?
Well, we'd like to see more young people.
Yeah.
So that's one thing we'd like to see.
For growth.
And I think we've done better in United in Christ than what we've done here in Florida.
Sure.
With young people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh.
Absolutely.
But I think that's just pretty much what you find in most churches today. It's mostly older people.
It's certainly a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to find new ways to reach the younger people, maybe like online service or a Saturday night when they're not working.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people's just simple work schedules these days, and that's not even the younger folks. That's everybody's just kind of precluded by that oftentimes, right?
Right.
And just I think you're right, and I think it's just how does the church stay relevant for a new generation, right? We've had tremendous gifts and tools to be able to stay relevant in decades past and decades gone by, but I don't know that we've always done a good job of living into the tools we have to be relevant today, right? And I think it's about discovering those and leveraging them and using them to what God has called us to. I think that's really important. Very cool. Cool. Well, and I know you just alluded to it though. And so for folks who may not understand what's going on here, I joke when I say that I think this is the longest telecommute now that I've had in one of these series. Tell us where you're at right this very moment.
We're in the kitchen.
No.
I did.
Okay, smart Alec. Here we go. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're good. I thought you were being sarcastic with me there, Jack. No,
we're in Palm Bay, Florida.
Palm Bay, Florida. Very cool. And you've been there since what? November now?
2005.
Oh, you've been coming down there since 2005, right?
2005, November to the end of April, usually every year.
Is your general plan, right?
Yeah.
And you're connected with a community of faith down there as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we belong to Lutheran. We're associate members down here to a Lutheran church.
That's
Joy
perfect.
Lutheran.
I think that's such a cool thing that the two of you want to maintain that continuity from north to south to stay engaged in those communities of faith.
We've been blessed because we found the same type of church down here where everybody is so friendly and family oriented. So we've been really lucky to have that experience. So it's been great.
That's very cool. That's very cool. And it's nice to know that the Lutherans have a presence all the way down the coast, right? So you can find them wherever you're at.
Well, there's not a lot of Lutheran churches in Florida.
I believe that. Yeah, no, that's for sure.
There's not a lot.
Yeah. We have a friend in New Smyrna Beach, and she said there's not really a Lutheran church between New Smyrna and Palm Bay.
Yeah.
So that's an hour and a 15-minute drive.
Oh my. Yeah. That's wild. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I don't think people think about that because we're so used to up here. We're used to them. They're a dime a dozen, right? Every 3 miles you hit another Lutheran church. But because for us in Pennsylvania, we're very used to it. because that's kind of how the Germans kind of settled and brought Lutheranism with them by and large. And I use this as an illustration, right? We at United in Christ, we're in the Upper Susquehanna Synod of the ELCA, right? And Pennsylvania alone has what, 7, if I'm doing my math correctly, 7 synods in Pennsylvania by itself. All of Florida's one synod, right? All of Florida and the Bahamas, right?
And the Bahamas, yeah. Right.
That is all one regional kind of grouping, just because there's not nearly as many in that kind of radius. I know I did my internship down in Naples, Florida, and there were 2 in Naples, but then you had to go up to Fort Myers Beach and then beyond Cape Coral to get to the next ones. It's not like it is up here where you've got 3 in the same town, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's very cool. So you've been going down there to Palm Bay for what, 15 years now?
15 years.
15 years.
That's so cool. That's so very, very cool. I'm glad you guys are able to do it. How'd you get connected with Palm Bay of all places?
There you go.
Well, all the guys that I work with, a lot of guys, when they retired, they come down here and bought a mobile home. So I knew about Holiday Park from work. That's how I knew about it.
Very cool.
So, first year we came down, we rented a place, and then we bought a lot and put a new mobile home on it.
Nice. Yeah, but we were here, about 2 days? And I said, let's buy a place.
It's all it took to convince you, right?
It was what, January, and it was 86 degrees out.
Oh, my. Oh. So what is it? What's the highlight of your months down there? If there's one thing, if somebody from United in Christ is going to head to Palm Bay next year, what's the one thing they got to do when they come down?
Well, they have to see the Christmas parade here in Palm Bay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Go figure. Of all the things I was expecting you to say, I got to admit, Christmas parade was not at the top of the list.
Well, it's at night and all the lights on the floats. It's really awesome.
That's very
huge.
Cool.
It's just huge.
Yeah. Neat. That's very, very cool.
And we're close to the ocean. We're like 15 minutes from the ocean. So.
Clutch. Just perfect. Yeah. Very, very cool. Well, just to rub it in the face of all these Northerners, what's the temperature there for you today?
90 degrees.
90 degrees right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see you later now. Well, we're logging right now. I'm just kidding. That's very cool. Well, please know that we do miss you dearly up here. We can't wait to see you guys and have you back. And well, we can't wait to get everybody back together in person, of course. But thank you for being willing to do this. I give everyone a chance at the end of the video. I give everyone a chance to give their parting words of wisdom. So what would you, Jack and Cheryl, what would you like to share with the congregation? Anything you want to tell them right now? Whatever. The moment is yours.
Well, the thing I want to tell them: stay safe, stay isolated, and this thing will be over. Yeah, I mean it'll be over.
Just takes time.
We just got to weather it together, and by together I mean from our own little corners, right? So
right, exactly.
Look out for each other by staying away. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, this is a way to stay connected.
Yes. Thank God for technology.
Bingo, right? Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, this is the first time I've ever used this Zoom.
Well, there you go. So you're not alone. We've had a lot of people learning new things in the past couple of weeks in order to stay connected. But I'm so grateful for y'all and for everyone who has been willing to take the extra steps. I know it's not often easy, but just the desire to stay in community makes us find new ways of doing it, right? So I'm grateful that y'all came along for the ride. So thank you.
Thank God for Facebook, because we signed up for that in order to get your sermons.
Oh, there we go.
With you on Sunday. So
excellent. Well, then
I was never Facebook, so we did that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just recently.
Yeah. We just did FaceTime with our granddaughters.
Nice. Yeah. Very nice. Very cool. Well, good. I'm glad we have the tools to stay connected now, and now we'll get to see you in worship this Sunday. How's that? We'll see you logging in there and watching together. But guys, this has been super great. Thank you for taking the time. Get back to your heat. Good luck down there. Don't melt. And hopefully we'll see you up here sooner rather than later.
Okay, sounds good to us.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. And everyone else at home, God's continued peace and blessings in the days ahead. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.
Talk to you later. Bye now.